Let's back up for a second. How did you two meet?
In brief, I met Abigail at a strip club. I was a security guard, believe it or not.
Okay.
And she was one of the new dancers
I believe
there.
it. Just because you're short doesn't mean you can whoop somebody's ass. I believe it.
I was good with my words in my hands, so one to work.
It.
So now, after we introduced ourselves. You know, she told me her name was Candy, sweet like candy. So I was feeling her swag, like, okay, I could tell she ain't from the city, but we gonna mold that. We gonna work with that.
Okay.
So fast forward, long story short, we started clicking. Every time we at the hotels, we spending every night, we taking our earnings, getting a hotel room, and we started living each other on and off for like 6 months about almost.
So 6 months y'all were dating?
I wouldn't even call it dating. It was summer fling.
Got it, okay.
My Bonnie and Clyde, that was my Bonnie. We was
Okay.
Bonnie and Clyde. We was doing thugging, just living life.
Got it.
Out on our own.
Got it. Okay. And what happens once y'all started living together?
Basically, she was showing her bakey side a little bit, like bakey as in like
I understood what it meant.
Like, all right, you leaving the club with men, multiple men, or be gone a couple days. So, you know, at first when I heard about a possible baby, I was in not denial, but what would you call it? Shock or disbelief almost, because I knew her actions and how she was.
Yeah. So at one point you met Abigail's family.
Yes, they had invited me over for Thanksgiving of 2017. And to my recollection, we had a wonderful time. I mean, yeah, when I was walking in, I felt eyes on me like, who is this walking up in here? But at the same time, they allowed her to leave with me.
Okay.
And she was in safe hands ever since.
Got it. And how did you two lose contact?
One of them young and dumb decisions. I went out to PA with my cousin at the time, and both Abigail and his girlfriend was staying at the house, at our family's house, and we got locked up out in PA. And
got it.
I was 8 months down the line. I haven't been home. However, I was still in contact with home. I would call. She had my phone. I would call, and we would talk. This was about a few days before one day they tell me, oh, she left. She got in some man's car, and her belly was getting big. We don't know.
And what were you told about Abigail?
Oh, yeah. Sweet as candy.
So my producer told me, yes, this is a photo she shared when this is after you left. She was pregnant and stripping, so okay. Because while we're showing this, we're not being shaded. This is the timeline, you know what I mean? So during that timeline, she was still dancing right after you got locked up, okay. And your mother called you while you were locked up, and what did she say to you?
She said, yeah, this white girl called me out of the blue, said that you're locked up and possibly the father of her son.
Got it, okay. And how did you find out that Abigail had a baby?
When I got released 8 months later, I go on Facebook, social media, whatever. She got pictures up there, I see them. If y'all could pull it up, he had a picture of Abigail's son next to my baby picture.
Oh.
Like right here, Mr. Karamo, if you could tell me, I want the audience to tell me, like, this right here, just seeing this alone, I got no lip. So a baby come out with no lip, I don't know, but what really brought my attention to it.
So only the lip you see? Because I don't
I see the forehead, the lips, the eyes, the hair, everything.
You see it?
Yeah, y'all tell me what y'all see. I could be wrong.
Y'all see it? Yeah. Okay.
So I'm here now because I'm gonna find out if that's my son.
Got it. I hear you.
Get in his
I
life.
hear you. You want your answers? Okay. So when you got out again, you started searching for Abigail.
Yes, I went on Facebook, got released from prison. This is 2 years ago. I got released 2022. So in the process, I had to get myself together. I had to get my house, get my car, get a job. I'm now a government mechanic for the city, so I'm doing my thing. I got my own house.
Congratulations.
Wrote on Facebook to Abigail.
Got it.
Hey, can I get in contact with you?
Got it.
It's urgent. Block immediately.
Oh, these are messages my producer told me you brought some other messages.
Yeah. If they can bring it up.
So I can see it right here. So this is the one you sent?
Absolutely. So let's start out with first one. Abigail, I wrote to Abigail, hey, can you call back, please? It's urgent. Block, no connection. Wrote to the stepfather. He has not blocked me.
Yeah,
however,
but he didn't respond.
He doesn't respond. He reads my messages or whatever, so I'm hoping it's still, I don't know. Sister, no response.
Yeah.
Wrote to the mother, grandmother. I wrote to the whole, pretty
Yeah.
much the whole family I met that night. And
What's
nobody.
interesting to me is that the family has met you. And also, let's be honest, in our society, it's rare when a male is reaching out actively saying, I want to find answers. So you would assume that if you know this child doesn't have an active father and there's a man saying, hey, I just want to find out. And all these messages was respectful. Like, there was nothing in that message, like, if I got that message, I'd have been like, hey, let me talk to Abigail and call you back or something.
I made it clear cut, I mean cut you off, but I made it clear cut that in this, I'm not looking to rekindle any relationship with Abigail. Now, dealing with a child, you have to deal with the parents regardless.
Yeah.
However, this is strictly because now he is, I don't know how old he is, but he needs to know who his father is.
So it's time to hear Abigail's side of the story. So everyone, please welcome Abigail to the show.
You ain't the dad. You ain't. You're abusive. You a drug addict. All you did was use the out of me and beat the out of me. You told me that wasn't your kid, and now it's yours.
You sure?
Yo, yeah, I'm sure.
Well, first
we want to
off-
bring that picture back because he looks nothing like you.
First off,
He looks nothing like
Well,
you.
before we get that picture back, take a seat for me
Right there,
because.
look at that baby.
Well, before we take that
And
picture
look,
back,
he
because
looks
you made some
nothing
other
like
thing.
you.
So you're saying that relationship, it was a horrible moment for
It
you.
was a horrible moment.
Okay.
From the first week that he moved in.
Okay.
Abusive, drugs, this, that, and the third.
Okay.
You ain't and you ain't the dad.
How long did you date, in your opinion, or have your moment?
A few months.
A few months y'all were together. Okay then. And during that time, were you in a dark space in your life?
No,
You weren't. So you just got into this relationship and you thought it was gonna be fun, and then it didn't turn out to be fun.
no. He seemed so protective at first.
Okay.
I was a dancer. He was a bouncer. The first night we met, he moved the like he just seemed like a good person.
Got
we
it.
weren't fighting, we was what? Oh.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we didn't. I'm
You
not
don't
saying
remember
that.
day? Yeah, I mean,
I'm
but
not
we was
saying
doing-
that,
I
but
remember a lot of
I
stuff
remember
we
a
was
lot
doing.
of too. A
Yeah,
lot of
a
you're
lot of stuff,
abusive.
too.
You're abusive.
There's a
You-
three. How old were y'all when y'all met?
I was 23, 24. She was probably 19, 20.
Okay.
I
yeah.
was 18.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. For one, you don't know because you a bitch. You and your mother, and y'all really need to stop. It's been over 5 years that y'all been trying to get in contact with not only me and everybody else in
So
Maryland.
let me-
That's some psycho weird ass. I
Let
already
me-
told her that you are not the
let
dad.
me go
I already
ahead
told her
and-
that you ain't the dad, and
Go ahead, go
yet
ahead.
there's still messages coming.
But hold on, before you got that response, I want to know if everyone's contacted you for 5 years, why not just take a paternity test and be done? If you're
Because I
solid,
got
just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Because because I believe that claims of stalking are real. Like when a woman says that, a man says that, if you say that, you can say, listen, I gave you what you wanted, a paternity test.
Stalking
I'm done
from
with
prison?
you. You know what I mean? You're
But
saying
I
I
had
was
nothing
stalking
to
from
prove
prison.
because
Stalking
he's not
from
the
prison?
dad.
I understand.
The only
That's
reason that
crazy.
we're here is because, for one, you dragged it out so long, and for two, I'm here to tell my story.
So Gary says you contacted his mother and said that you were pregnant. Is that true?
Yeah, and that's when we were, before he got locked up, for one, because I didn't find out how far along I was till after he got locked up.
Okay.
So he was in my ear like, yeah, you need to tell her, that's my kid, blah, blah, blah. But you wasn't saying that when you was hitting me in the stomach. Talking about that's not my kid.
Well, I remember we weren't in contact with neither of our families at the time. We was living at a whole different house, at my cousin's
You
house.
told me
Yeah,
that I had
wasn't-
to
That
call
wasn't
her.
my mother, that was my
Oh.
aunt.
Gary, can
My
I,
Okay.
mother
Okay,
Gary,
sure.
called her off
can I
my
ask you a question?
No,
Were
I
you
didn't.
abusive to her during that time?
Absolutely not.
So, okay. So, do you know who could be the father of your child then?
I do.
You do know who could be the father. Okay. And have you contacted them?
No, because he's just as bad as him.
What makes you uncomfortable about Gary possibly being the father?
Because, for one, I know he's not, and for two, all the he put me through, I would not have my son go through that.
Okay.
Listen,
Never.
This is not about you.
It's
Right
about
now,
my
I got
kid.
custody of my youngest
that's
son.
So
Now,
cool.
Your son,
That's so cool,
who
but you
doesn't
ain't the
have a
dad.
father in his life,
And
could
he don't
be
need one.
with
He don't need
a
one.
father
He got me.
and his brother, if
He
it's
got
possibly.
me. He got me. He
It don't
don't
even
need
seem
you.
like you're with him.
I'm
I see your
always
sister
with
with him most of the time.
No, she's not. I'm with him every day.
Okay.
Every day.
So who is he with now?
My mom.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I'll
Not
tell you
my
this. I'll
sister.
tell you this. Your statement of he does need a father, I understand, comes from a
He don't
place
need a
of
father.
pain and also a place where you always have to be the one to step up and protect yourself. But any child who has an
Damn,
opportunity
we
to
be
have
his
both
father.
parents deserves that.
Not
Okay?
you.
So you just know that. I understand where your pain comes from. They need that. So I want you to just remember that. So what will you do if Gary is the father?
We're gonna go to court. Because you're not getting no legal rights. None.
Hey, I got only 2 words for you. Lawyer fees. You ready for that?
I take it all.
Would you really want to go to court if Gary is the father?
He ain't getting no rights to my kid.
Because,
you don't even know him.
Because of the pain you experienced. Because of the pain you experienced. Is this your only child?
No, I got a youngest.
You got a youngest. Okay, then. And is that child's father in their life?
He was for a while.
Okay. I got that. There's a lot of pain still you got
He's
going
not
on.
none of his
Have you had a
kids,
chance to
right?
talk to anybody about what you've been through?
I have a therapist.
You do? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think it's time to unlock this DNA mystery. Well, Abigail, in this envelope is a DNA truth you've been waiting to find out for years, but, you know, Abigail, I'm gonna give this to you since you say that he's not the father. This is your truth to open, not mine.
I'm happy regardless, whatever it is.
I already know you're not the dad. I was 2 weeks pregnant before I got with you, and you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know. You just kidding. Go ahead, read it. And why you taking so long? I'm eager as you. I want to know. You want me to open it?
Are you nervous?
No.
Are you
I'm
nervous?
I'm not nervous.
Okay, then let's go ahead. Let's get to the
I
DNA
want to.
truth.
I'm here for a reason. I need to know now.
What does it say?
He is the biological.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Now,
That is your son.
can I say one more thing?
So you can take a seat.
I'm not trying to start no more. But you see that baby right there? He is
You
beautiful.
ain't gonna get no rights
He
to
is
him.
beautiful, right?
No rights.
That baby is beautiful. And he's Jamaican at that. I'm half Jamaican. So he gotta, gotta go to Jamaica, see his family, you feel me?
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you
Yes, sir.
something? Can I tell you something? I'm so happy you got your answers.
I'm happy to.
I'm so happy that you have a son, because what I can tell is that after prison, you were able to have some major growth. And I also know that for the state to award you your child, they had to do background checks, they had to do certain things to show where you're at in your
It was
life.
a fight. I got my own house.
Yeah.
I got my own car. I got my own job. Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Seriously. I'll tell you this, though. She still only remembers you as who you were when you were 21. All the memories she has in her mind is whatever volatile Bonnie and Clyde relationship y'all had, and she has to process, okay? So what I encourage you to do in this is, as much as you're going to fight for your son and you deserve to see your son, you have to make sure you understand that she has to need time to process, okay? And anything you say when she gets mad to trigger her is only gonna make this harder for you and your son.
Understood.
How you feeling right now? How you feeling?
I really didn't think he was the dad. The doctor told me I was 2 weeks pregnant before I got with
I
him.
could tell. I could tell that was a genuine response. So now that he's the father, I know you just said that your child doesn't need a dad. Your children has a father that's willing to be there and be in their life. And I just told Gary, I know that there's, in your mind, you are still where you were when you were 18, 19. You haven't had closure, and I get that. So what do you need to say to him to get that closure so that you can be there to co-parent? What do you need to
It's
get
gonna
that
take
closure?
a long time before I see any type of growth, or before you even ever think that you're gonna enter his life.
What do you need to start to get that closure? Because at the end of the day, as his mother, you have to get that closure because y'all have to co-parent. So what do you need?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna ask you to think about that. I'm gonna ask you this. As she figures out what she needs to get closure, will you give her that?
Absolutely.
Tell her.
Listen, with this thing, because I know I've been a father for my youngest son for a while now, and it's still a learning experience, and it's hard. And I'm not lying to you, it's hard. However, your son, he has built bonds and relationships with people that he probably look at as another man as his father. And that's not against you or anybody. That's reality. I wasn't there. So I can't just jump into his life. Hey, buddy, I'm your father. Don't work that way. However, I do ask, Lay, when I take my son to go fishing next weekend or in a month or two, can your son come? Can he get to know his brother?
Only if I'm there.
Of course, I'm not gonna deny that. But remember, this is about the kids. This is not me and you. I don't see myself getting with you or anybody. I'm enjoying my life as a single dad, to be honest. I got so much done.
So can I tell you something what I just saw, and I appreciate this, is that what you just did is you set a boundary that was healthy and was not in any type of argument. You said, yes, you can see your child and I'm gonna be there, and I applaud you. Because what you just did in that moment is you put your child first while also still protecting yourself. You did. Y'all don't know each other because it's been years. And so after a while, you're gonna learn to trust each other with your child. You're gonna learn to get to know each other again. But if y'all can stay communicating like this and setting those boundaries and not using the child as a weapon, y'all are gonna be okay. You hear me?
Yes, sir.